And last for today, we have Betsy Brooksher from from Chesty Academy. Math, not from math, but a math teacher. And she'll be speaking about tearing down walls with grace.
Good afternoon. You're almost done listening to us. Sometimes students show up to us surrounded by these carefully crafted walls of protection from some major sources of pain in their lives. But when they're sitting in our classrooms, we don't see the source of the pain, and sometimes we don't even recognize that hard exterior as pain. Rather, we see it as a kid with a bad attitude who wakes up in the morning, it seems to just make my life more difficult, right? These kids oftentimes see us, like this guy, just another adult to lay down the law. They have a learned distrust of adults, and rightfully so, many of them. But it's my belief that the most effective discipline is not punitive, but rather delivered with kindness and grace and compassion. And I circled grace because that's what I want to talk about today. In her book, Carry On Warrior, Glennon Doyle said, hurt people hurt people. Oh, powerful, right? It's like a chain link of pain. So that if I have a bad day at work, I go home and I'm irritable with my husband, and in turn, he then is irritable with the kids, and it goes on and on. But we're adults, and the people we work with aren't. And so we should really have better coping mechanisms than they do, but sometimes we expect a lot. The good news is that we can interrupt that hurt flow by extending grace. We can break the chain for our students. And when we do that, sometimes we get remarkable results. So by the time that cycles around to you in your classroom, it might look like a kid like that there who's just exploded. And it's hard to see behind that attitude or that disrespect that really there's more going on. It's not even about you. And can you pause and extend grace in those moments? Because if you can, then the payoff for the kid and for the adult is huge. It's huge. It's not about being a punching bag, but rather just stopping and breathing and seeing, can I extend grace? Can I stop the pain here and absorb it for you? So at the beginning of last year, a colleague of mine saw a kid's name on my roster, one of my class rosters, and she said, he's going to look at you like he wants to cut your throat. And he did every single day for a year, until finally the last week of school, he cussed me good, y'all. It was a loud, vibrantly colored, public kind of cussing, right? I mean, he got me good. And I thought to myself, pause, Betsy, and just breathe for a minute. And I don't know if I can extend grace right now, because that's not how I'm feeling. That's not human nature to sit and take that and then to be compassionate in return. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to be her, and I wanted to let him have it because I'm the alpha dog and you're going to respect me. But I mustered everything I had, and I said to this kid, I am sorry that life has given you so many reasons to be angry, because it had. And I would like to help you find another way to deal with that anger. And you could just about hear the bricks crumble. And it was one of the highlights of my 15-year career so far. It's a cute story, but we're all like, you're right. Because we're tired and we're busy and we don't want to be disrespected, right? It's hard to extend grace in a moment like that. But we all know we can do hard things because we're in this profession and we're still here. So we can do hard things. And if we can remember that the biggest, sharpest, most painful thorns in our side are the ones who need that kind of grace the most, then we are not just another brick in the wall, but we are the saving grace in a young person's life, and that is a hugely powerful responsibility. Thank you.